Hey everyone, it's Tzayla and welcome back to Off Key and On Pitch, your backstage pass to the unfiltered world of music. If you've been listening to some of the interviews I've done, you might notice that a lot of my guests mention the same thing, networking. And for good reason too, because in this business, and honestly in life itself, who you know and who knows you can open doors that talent alone just can't. Now, I know, networking can feel like one of those buzzwords people throw around without ever explaining what it actually means or how to actually do it. So today, we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about why it matters, how to do it without being weird. We're going to talk about my own journey with networking and where to go if you want to start building real connections in music. So if you are trying to make things happen in your music career, lean in because this episode is for you. So let's start with why networking actually matters. You can be crazy talented. You can make the best music in the world, have the deepest lyrics, the hottest guitar solos, the most soul-shattering vocals, but if no one hears it, it does not go anywhere. And the people who help you get heard, those producers, those sync agents, playlist curators, publicists, artist managers, even just fellow musicians, you meet them through relationships. And those relationships, well, they start with conversation. They start with networking. The music business is at its core a people business. And the truth is, people hire, help, and hype up people they know, trust, and like. And networking is how you meet those people and how you become one of them too. It's not about clout chasing, it's about connection chasing. Now, before I talk about what networking is, I want to be clear about what networking is not. Networking is not passing around your business card. It is not cornering someone with a 5-minute elevator pitch. It is not fake smiling your way into someone's DMs. Networking is being curious, being kind, being prepared to follow up. It's offering value where you can, and most of all, being yourself. Because here's the truth. People can sense fake from a mile away, and nobody wants to work with someone who feels inauthentic. So be authentically you. It's not about impressing someone with a fake mask on. It's about connecting with someone by showing up as your real self. It's about planting seeds that may take months or even years to grow, but when they bloom, it's beautiful. Also, be kind to everyone, okay? You never know who someone is or who they're connected with. The music industry might seem huge, but it's actually a very small world, and word travels fast, so be the person people want to recommend. Be a good hang. Be the kind of artist, writer, or producer people enjoy being around. It makes all the difference, trust me, and always provide value. Give back whenever you can. Connect the people you have in your network if you know they'll be beneficial to each other. Let me tell you a little story. In the summer of 2024, I attended a program at Berklee College of Music. Now, if you've ever been to Berklee, you know that they pack their schedule tight, okay? Like we had back-to-back classes, workshops, panels, you name it. But during every single 15-minute break, unless I had to book it across the entire campus, I would head straight to the front of the room. Why? Because that is where the speakers were, okay? I made it my personal mission to talk to every single one of them. I'd ask them questions, I'd ask for their email, and yep, I would even ask for a picture if the moment felt right. And once the program ended, I emailed every single one of them. Every single one. I'd write something like, hey, I loved our convo about insert topic here. Here's the photo we took. I really appreciate your insight and I'd love to stay in touch. And some people never responded, and that's okay, but some of them did, and I still keep in touch with some of the people that I met there. For instance, Mike Warner. You might recognize his name. He was on my show a few episodes back. Mike was a guest speaker at Berklee. He was talking about artist tools and streaming strategy, and I truly highly recommend his book, Work Hard, Playlist Hard. But after Berklee, Mike and I stayed in touch. We even had a virtual call back in the fall of 2024 where he told me about the Music Biz Conference, which for the first time was going to be hosted in Atlanta instead of Nashville, which was where it was being hosted for the past 5 years. And I live just an hour west of Atlanta, so I made plans to go. And that decision changed my entire career. When May rolled around, I showed up to Music Biz. I didn't actually buy a pass for the sessions. I just kind of parked myself in the lobby and started talking to people. And at first, it was a little awkward. I was just kind of standing in the corner next to this pillar. And starting conversations can feel very weird and very awkward. But everyone seemed like they had somewhere to be. But then I remembered, everyone here is there to meet people and learn something. So I took a deep breath and I started initiating. Sometimes it went great, sometimes it flopped. One of my favorite wins, though, was when I saw this woman walk by me and she was wearing polka dots. And as she walked by, I just go, polka dots. And she was like, oh my gosh, yeah, I love polka dots. And we talked for like 10 minutes and it was a lot of fun. And sometimes, that's all it takes, just a random comment or a moment of bravery. And you'll meet someone that, you keep in touch with for a long time. And I met producers at that event, producers from bands that I absolutely love. I met the founders of Hit Songs Deconstructed at an after party, and I totally fangirled so hard. We talked for like 30 minutes. That was an awesome night. I even met people I still work with today, like music catalog owners and sync agents, partnerships that truly took my career to the next level. And it all started with networking, with conversation, with connection, and following up with people. So, from someone with experience, networking, it truly is difficult at first, but extremely worth it. Now, let's zoom out and talk about strategy, because there are actually many different types of networking. The first type of networking is in-person networking. These are things like conferences, panels, showcases, open mics, film festivals, etc. The next type is online networking. These are DMs, comments, emails, collaborations, virtual events. You also have collaborative networking, which is things like co-writes, co-productions, creative meetups. You also have passive networking, which is commenting on posts, sharing someone's music, sending a compliment. And lastly, mentorship networking, like reaching out to someone ahead of you and asking thoughtful questions. Every single one of these can lead to real connection. So try to exercise as many of them as you can. But if it seems too difficult, try to focus on one. I personally prefer in-person networking, but that's my personal preference. If you prefer to be online, that works as well. But just make sure to focus on one, but try to reach as many as you can. Now let me give you a simple plan so you can start networking today. First, you want to pick your space. Choose an event, an online group, or a DM target. Then set your intention. For instance, I want to meet 2 to 3 new people today. Something specific, a SMART goal. Then you want to have an opener ready, something simple and genuine. It doesn't have to be something like polka dots. It could be something a bit more clever or a bit more vague, but try to be as simple and genuine as you can. Next, follow up. Within 24 to 48 hours, reference the conversation and attach the photo if you took one with them. Lastly, check back in. 2 weeks later, I would say, you want to say hey and, keep the conversation alive. Now, there are a few things that you want to avoid when networking. For instance, talking only about yourself, pitching your services immediately without any front talk, being vague, like, hey, we should collab. That's not a plan. Not following up and ghosting after they try to help you. Those are things you want to avoid. Don't be that person. Be thoughtful, be intentional, and always offer something in return. Now, if you want to start networking, but you're not quite sure where yet, here are some real life and digital places that I recommend. First of all, the Music Biz Conference. It is a great place to meet people across the industry. I personally really enjoyed going there. It was such a shift in my career, so I really do recommend it. Another place you can check is LinkedIn, some sync licensing Facebook groups, Discord servers, local open mic nights or showcases or college events, workshops, songwriting retreats or artist development programs, or you can even try volunteering or interning at music festivals or local venues or even local studios as well. These are all great places to start networking. But here is what I'll leave you with. Networking is not just about advancing your career. It's about building your community. When you walk into a room, you never know who you might meet. That one person you talk to in the hallway, they might end up being your future collaborator, your future manager, or your future biggest fan, but you have to be bold enough to say hi. So this week, I challenge you. Send one DM, attend one event, ask one question. You never know where that conversation could lead. Thanks for tuning in to Off Keen on Pitch. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend and leave a review. And you can also check out more podcast episodes, read my music blog, check out my music, or find me on social media, links to all which can be found at Tzayla.com or Tzayla.com/linktree. But until next time, be bold, be kind, keep dreaming big, and remember, adventure sounds like this.